Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I didn't think I was going to go live tonight. I said, Mr. T's getting a late start in his speech. He's going to be talking till 10:30. But boy, did he do a speed speech. He shot right through his points, 10 minutes on the nose, on the button, and he was out of there. So, yeah, the points he made, if everybody was listening, it was have to listen to it again, slow it down. He's hit some points that are going to rattle a lot of people's cages on the left. But as we know, they're a lot smaller group than they want to get the American people to believe. Certainly not 81 million of them. Certainly not that many. 81 million my backside. So, hey, how you doing, Quilt? A B-Dog, Mr. Kibler, how you doing? Jamie, Karen, Melinda, Gloria. So, I guess everybody got a chance to see the speech now. He's going to be doing a rally tomorrow night. Talk about a hard-working man. Hard-working man. Hi, Diane. Hi, Angel. Hi, Sharon. So, I guess he flew all the way up to Iowa to do 10 minutes. What in the heck? What was the bar closing or what? I mean, I don't know why. Hi, Paula. Hi, Henri. Jamie, you said you missed 45 tonight. It was 10-minute bullet points, as they call them. Hi, Finding Dory. How you doing? Marla. Haha. Awaken Trillium. Nice to see you. So, anyway, I didn't build a studio and do all that stuff because I thought, well, he's gotta be giving a speech by 9. And I watched a couple of the people before him. Who was that character? I guess it was about 8:30, maybe. I have to go back and check. But some character got up there and actually said, the only reason Trump's running is to stay out of jail, and we can't do that because, well, all we're going to do is put Biden in for another 4 years. And everybody, he got booed off the stage. And he said, well, I got to go. I'll see you later. It was just before a young man whose family fled from Cuba to come to this country came up. It was some guy. I don't know who it was. I didn't catch it. Maybe somebody. Hi, Outlandish. How you doing? So, I'm just trying to check who's got Camperman. How you doing? Got the list of everybody. So, I don't know who that person was, but they pretty much finished their career off. Hi, Wild West. I don't think that whoever that person isn't going to be doing very well. Maybe over with the rhinos or what's left of them, because they're being demolished just like the DS. And we all know what DS stands for. So I have all these video clips and memes that I was going to build into my studio, and I didn't have the time. I thought we would be sitting there listening to Mr. Trump. I figured we started at 9. He'd be up at least till 10. And then it got to 9, 10, and then Vivek came out, and I said, man, Vivek's going to be up there forever. I think Vivek started a little bit after 9. And I said, wow. So I didn't think I'd even go on tonight. So, hi, Gary. How you doing? Yes, Angel says hit the like button. Haha. And I know Henri hit the like button for me, didn't you, honey? So anyway, that helps the video get around. But I tell you, he came out and put it one thing in particular in the bluntest terms that he had ever said. He said it fairly blunt, but tonight he said he was going to outlaw all 50 states and I guess I could say this on you, Tizzle, the mutilation, okay, of young people is not going to be permitted as a, what would you call it? Acceptable medical practice. And like Mr. T said, who would ever thought you'd have to write that down on a piece of paper? Are we so far gone? I guess we are, because they've been doing it for how many years? How many years have they been doing this to young people? And you figure a prosecutor could come up with that being a criminal act, okay? Like that doctor I put a video up of with pink hair. Where was he? Oregon? And he was saying, yeah, I'm doing this to 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds. It can be problematic. So I don't know. They say the end won't be for everyone, but as far as I'm concerned, people like that need to pay a price. Okay, not that we pass a law and say, okay, now you got to stop doing that. You got to stop mutilating. I don't know how we're going to get around that. Tennessee, how you doing? That's right. When they took out of schools, when they started S3X education, took away the Pledge of Allegiance and got out of schools. And that's all coordinated all around the same timeline. America was staggered after Kennedy's assassination. Johnson swooped right in and began the Great Society. When Roosevelt started the Social Security system, he insisted that it was something people paid into before they got something back. But the Johnson administration turned that up on its head and started handing out checks. And going along with the other items I have already talked about. So, let's see. Wild West is here. Ian, how you doing? Hi, Larry. B-Dog's here. Watch Africa-Russia Summit. They're all on the same page. You better believe it. If I could play some of these, I might go ahead and spend an afternoon and get some of these clips from African leaders when they're talking about the alphabet community. And hey, they're very blunt and straightforward. They don't want that. Their people don't want it, and they don't want it. And they've said, hey, you got millions of dollars for us if we start this alphabet business? Keep your money. We don't want it. So let me see. Holy cow! Hi, Paula. Oh, Paula, you need to put a one where the I is, because that word gets me in trouble, honey. And don't get mad at me, but I gotta take that comment down. And in 3 minutes, you can post something else. Okay, Paula, don't get angry at me. I just can't have that K-I and then the with the 2 L's behind it. So let's see. 3 minutes. You can do that stand in your head, honey. I just can't have it in there. It gets me in trouble, sweetie. I know you don't mean to get me in trouble. Let's see. Holy cow. Let me see it now. I don't even have to see this someone. I know who that is. Because Gary, give me 2 or 3 booms in the chats, Gary. I really appreciate it. Gary buys me coffee and makes it worthwhile. I can tell you that it's hard to do these. I want to thank Lisa if she comes in. Whoa! I didn't ban Paula. I just gave her a timeout. Let's see. Anyway, what was I saying? I appreciate Lisa for helping sponsor last night's show, and thank you, Gary, so much for helping me out. I don't understand what's going on with Paula. I hit a timeout. Let me see. What the heck? Well, Paula, if you're out there, let me see what I can do to remedy this. My. Touchy buttons here. Very small, touchy buttons. Oh, my. Let me see. Oops, I put Gary's comment up top. Said, yes, Marla. Well, I don't know how to fix that. Oh. Well, let's see what happens. Maybe it didn't do it that way. Okay. Hi, Nikki. How you doing? Thank you, Gary. Anytime and every time. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. I got to find out from Nikki how I can fix that. Faith by Nature. Welcome aboard. It's the first time I've seen you here. But I may have done that by accident. So if you're out there, oh my, Paula, I'll try to fix it the best I can, or I will address it in a future live stream. So make sure you tune in to me. And I just wanted to get that one word down. I had to do it. I don't know what happened. Melvita, how are you doing? Reba. So I made a mistake, but I'll try to fix it. So anyway, I was going through some older videos today, and I'm putting them together. And coming up, I'm shooting for Sunday. I'm going to do some videos, patching a timeline together from where Mr. T was running against Hillary on through up till now. Just no doubt in your mind there were shenanigans going on. No doubt in your mind what kind of messages Mr. T was trying to tell, not just us, but every American and at times people around the world. And I'll be trying to get that up Sunday. And as I was looking through, Paula, you make sure you tune into my broadcast so I can tell you what I'm going to get a hold of StreamYard and see what happened, because I just wanted to do a timeout. So don't get mad and not watch me anymore. Let me find out what to do with StreamYard, okay? The best thing to do is not put words that the algorithm catches, and stuff like this won't happen. But anyway, I was going through videos, and I came across one where there was a congressman talking to a talking head in the news. And it was about another subject, but he brought up something at the beginning that gave me pause. He said, we've been voting remotely now for 6 months or some long period of time in Congress, never before in our nation's history. And I remember that being a discussion point, or it was for over a year, I think, the constitutionality of where Nancy made it where people could vote remotely, not even show up in the halls of Congress. And I think it is pretty well laid out that that's not allowed, that they have to have a physical presence. You cannot have somebody vote by proxy for you. You cannot vote from a remote location. You have to have your physical presence at the White House. I mean, at the Congress. So that brings into question the validity of a lot of the actions Congress has taken. What is even valid? The actual bodies that were there and the votes that were cast, if there was enough for a quorum, even you have to have a quorum, which is a minimum threshold of people to conduct business. You can't get a quorum, you can't do it. Hi, Spicy Peach, how you doing? Let me see. Hi, Donna. Nice to see you. Let me see if David's in here. I gotta say something to David if I see him. I don't really, unless I see somebody in the chats. Hi, Randy. Oh, they did. And in Miami, you say? Oh, you put the booms in? All right, Gary. I messed up with what I did on somebody. I was supposed to give him a timeout, and I think I messed it up. But and that distracted me. But I appreciate the booms, and of course the buy me a coffee. Hi, Alicia. So yeah, that's something to think about as to what might happen in the future concerning the people who were voting by proxy and blaming it on the CVID, whether or not a lot of the things they were doing was constitutional. I also came across an article in my library where Justice Thomas had given some responses to what's her name? Ketanji Brown. Justice Thomas dismantles Justice Brown Jackson in an epic fashion. And I'll have things to talk about, and before I know it, the time has gone way on, and I say, well, I'll get it next time I do a live stream, and I never do. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate it. Let's see, Nikki. Let me tell you what I did. I don't know if I can go that far back, but I had somebody I was going to remove their comment because it had KILL in there, and instead of putting a 1, and Paula Work, and I didn't mean to knock her completely out, but just give her a timeout. Paula Work. It's on up the chat some a ways. I don't know if you can fix that for me. But anyway, I never did get a chance to talk about what Clarence Thomas had said. And he said, this was when Justice Roberts put out a warning kind of like memo for the justices to be nice to each other, because Alito had some problems with the things that were opinions that were being put out, basically saying in so many words they were nonsense opinions. And also Clarence Thomas said that what's her name? Ketanji Brown Jackson said her racist worldview, quote, is cancerous to young minds. So that was a very strong statement. I've got some more of it I can read. That's the news didn't report on, but they should. They should report on it, but they don't. Thomas noted that Jackson builds from her faulty premise to call for action, arguing that courts should defer to, quote, experts and allow institutions to discriminate on the basis of race. Make no mistake, her dissent, this was about affirmative action, is not a vanguard of the innocent and helpless. It is instead a call to empower privileged elites who will tell us what is required to level the playing field among castes and classifications that they alone can divine. So that this is legal theory, political philosophy, and things that should be put out to the public, especially to young minds. He goes on to say, then after siloing us all into racial castes and pitting those castes against each other, the dissenter somehow, which is Katanji, somehow believes that we will be able at some undefined point to march forward together into some utopian vision. Social movements that invoke these sorts of rallying cries historically have ended in disaster. And basically what he's talking about is communism and Marxism. Thank you, Nikki. Yeah, I saw that Frogman stuff when it first came out about 7 years ago. I got a screenshot of the diver, B-Dog. That's I'll talk about it as soon as I finish up with Clarence Thomas about the what was her name? The lady who did Obama's birth certificate. Clarence Thomas had more in his response to her dissent. He said, rather than focusing on individuals as individuals, her dissent focused on historical subjugation of Black Americans, invoking statistical radical racial groups to argue in favor of defining and categorizing individuals by their race, he wrote. As she sees things, we are all inexorably trapped in a fundamentally racist society with the original sin of slavery and the historical subjugation of Black Americans still determining our lives today. In other words, she just won't let it go. And she wants to fashion her rulings around 200-year-old grievances. The panacea, she counsels, is to unquestionably accede to the view of elite experts and reallocate society's riches by racial means as necessary to level the playing field judged by racial metrics. I strongly disagree. So, that kind of stuff, if that kind of stuff doesn't get put out by the news, but they can parrot and mockingbird all these nursery rhyme style talking points of the left. That is what poisons our political speech. And you'll notice he said the elites, just in that portion of his response or dissent, he referred to the elites at least 3 times. But I also remember that Clarence Thomas did say that the corporation of the United States was defunct, bankrupt. And that was some years ago. Yeah, Nikki, I appreciate if you can help me. Yeah, Randy, Biden would come to Niagara Falls. I saw Dan Scavino. He put up one post today. It was of Niagara Falls, and I was going to ask the chats, what does that mean? Because Scavino will do sneaky stuff like that. He'll put a post in, and you got to kind of figure it out. And he took an aerial shot of Niagara Falls, and I said, I wonder what that means. And now I see you mentioning, Randy, that you wish Biden would come to Niagara Falls. I'm wondering, got anything for me as to what that could mean? I'm taking a look here. Wild West has got a long post. 13 minutes he was on that big jet again. Oh, Biden going to Delaware. Let's see. Oh, there's a new search engine that Donald Jr. put up out when I finished checking the chats here. Yeah, oh bummer. He's already in the news. Gary is his cook. Guess who's not coming to dinner? The cook. Yes, Nikki said, please hit the thumbs up. Hi, Linda. Nice to see you. Tesla. About Niagara Falls? I don't know. MS Motorsports, how you doing? So I don't know why he put a picture of Niagara Falls there. What? Diane says the Nigerian president got removed by the military today. I have to check that out. You know, that's where they found $30 trillion worth of gold. Man, that's a big, if that's true, that's a big deep state move there. That's C.I.A. moving in on Nigeria. I'll have to find out the details on that. Miss Yorkshire Prepper, how you doing? You got the Union Jack flying. Ha ha, nice to see you. So anyway, let me find that site that Don Jr. was talking about that everybody can log on to. Oh, he lost a pro basketball player who previously blamed something you get in your shoulder for a rare heart condition, passed away from a heart attack. So another young person, healthy person, otherwise healthy person, bit the dust. Let me find this social site. Oh, and there was also a brigadier general. A big brigadier general crashed an airplane, he was the only pilot in a small plane, and he didn't make it. He died on the scene. U.S. general dies in crash. It was Brigadier General Anthony Potts, program executive officer. And he crashed near Aberdeen Proving Grounds on July 25th. That was in Maryland. And he was in charge of upgrading equipment, making sure our forces have the most up-to-date stuff, supplies and things of that nature. So I don't know if what we're going to find out is tied to that. Oh, you know, Spicy, you checked it out? I just said his name. You might be able to Google it and get some new information. He died of climate change. No, it was a plane crash. Oh, yeah, I saw, Gary. We got Miss Yorkshire in the house. And let's see. I got a copy of a comment I was going to go over, but I don't see the person in the chat, so I don't want to do it unless they're in the chats. But anyway, I go on Devin Nunes' page and find out some stuff every now and then. But Donald Trump Jr. said, you go and do a search on your regular search engine, Google, and search for Hunter Biden, quote, gender or, quote, climate. And then you go on this site called freespoke.com. Search results you can trust, no censorship, and 100% privacy. Okay, well, that's what they said about DuckDuckGo, and I use DuckDuckGo, but then I found out, well, they rely a lot on the main Google engine, right? Well, this place is supposedly free of that. He says, Donald Trump Jr. says, guys, go and search for, quote, Hunter Biden, gender, or climate on FreeSpoke to see their new feature that highlights all the results that Google hides. See the difference for yourself. So that's a little something to try. They highlight what they know Google is hiding from you in their search engines. Ivana, how you doing? Where is she at? Oh, there she is. She's got her cute little hat on, not white hat. I can spot you a mile away. Ha ha ha. That's right, dominoes are starting to fall. Niger's democratically elected president. Oh, it was Niger, not Nigeria. Okay, thank you for the clarification. Somebody had put in the chats earlier, Nigeria, and Niger is a different country, right? So Mohammed Bazoum was overthrown today, and that was the military coup we heard about. So Nigeria is a country Uganda found $30 trillion worth of gold. I just got when I saw the military takeover of an African country, I've been thinking that gold, somebody was going to make a lunge at that gold, but I don't think they're going to do it with Uganda. So it is Uganda, not Nigeria, and it wasn't Nigeria that got militarily overthrown. It was Niger. Okay. Lone Wolf, how you doing? Just so we get it right. So we'll have to see what the story is behind that. Russia and China have been really tightening up relationships with African nations. As you know, what's her name? Stacey Abrams. Which country was Stacey Abrams in, quote, helping with their election? Do you all remember that? I played a short video clip of Stacey Abrams in a African nation messing around with their elections. I mean, hey, we got to kind of keep an eye on it because, I was going to talk about that lady that got drowned that was messing with the birth certificate. I think B-Dog mentioned about the diver. And I remember, I think it was in 2015 or 16. I think it was late 2015. There were a lot of videos up on channels that have been removed from this very site, where the plane had crashed and all the passengers were floating around in the water, right? Waiting for somebody to come get them. And because the plane, I guess, was sinking and they all jumped down that inflatable ramp, and everybody's out there bobbing around, and some people had their cell phones out, were taking videos. And put a thumbs up if you remember this in the chats. So these videotapes showed the woman who verified or discovered or whatever Obama's birth certificate from Hawaii. What was her name? Plunkett or Pluck or something like that. I'll get her name. But anyway, somebody got a copy of the tape of everybody bobbing around the water, and you see a diver pop up right in front of her and then sploosh back down into the water. And she drowned. And she was the only person. Now, don't hold me to this, but I think there were like between 60 and 70 people on board. And there was a discrepancy about one of the passengers. There was like one passenger too many on the plane. In other words, there was a person, nobody knew who the heck it was on the plane. And they found out afterwards. So the other things that they found out was that she had on, I think it was bright green shoes. And I'm not sure of the neon color. I'm saying green. I believe they were green. They were very glowy. I mean, so the whole thought there was somebody gave her these shoes as a gift. And she's like, oh, I love them. And she put them on. And if you're a diver and your job is to have somebody go under, all right, you don't want to get the wrong one. But the notion was that there was a person on that plane that wasn't registered and had some kind of scuba gear stashed somewhere. And when on the plane donned the scuba gear, when the plane did a belly landing on the water, they got out of the plane. And when everybody was out there waiting to get picked up, nobody got injured. Everybody made it except for this one woman. So the notion is whoever gave her those shoes, or whoever provided those shoes to somebody innocent, maybe that gave them to her, they may have unwittingly assisted, because the diver looks up and sees these glowing green or orange or whatever they were shoes. They knew right what to do. And they come up there and put their weight, pop up out of the water, grab the person. And people who have dived before know about diving weights. And so anyway, how long do you have to have somebody submerged before it's over? And then you just let them go. And if they've got no injuries, hey, they drown, right? That's what happened to the chef. Right? Yeah, I see that, Wild West. I'm going to try to play that video where I'm not focused in so much on McConnell, and I got another video of a different angle when he zoned out. That's right, Spicy. Her last breath was why? I mean, the picture I got of that diver popping up in front of her is blurry, but I remember this was way before the first CUE post, the first 17 posts was in October of 2017. And this happened 2015, I think. So you know, you're watching all these channels back then. They were all over YouTube where people saying this is conspiracy, that's conspiracy. And then on top of that, you had the C.I.A. sprinkling their stuff in the mix to really get people disjointed and off balance mentally. Did she touch him after he froze or before he froze? McConnell, I'm talking about. So I don't know. I'll have to look at that video again. Whoa, where'd my chats go? Oh, you talk, Jerry? Are you talking about the airplane or? Yeah, it was only 10 to 15 people. I thought it was a bigger craft than that. Of course, we didn't get news reports. And they made about 5 different stories about this chef with Obama. First, they said they autopsied him right away. Then, then they said they didn't autopsy him, and then they said the family brought in somebody to autopsy him. I don't know where it's well. Then the Obama said they weren't there, and then it said, well, we were there, and some of the police reporting was that it was 2 miles away from the Obama house, and then it turned out it was right in the backyard of the Obama house. So yeah, there's something rotten in Denmark there. Oh, thank you, Nikki. Nikki said, if you'd like to support channel, it's a viewer supported, creator supported channel only. I've got a link for Buy Me a Coffee in the description if anybody wants to help the channel out. And I do want to thank Gary for helping out earlier tonight, and Lisa who helped me last night sponsor the program. I appreciate it very much. Link in the description. Buy me a coffee. Dart gun, maybe. Well, not with his face all punched up. They said it looked like he'd been in a fist fight. And there was also talk about this lady that died in the plane crash, that I see somebody said the chef was going to write a book, that this woman's belongings had been gone through or something. But you can believe that if the family saw something like that and had a problem with her things missing or something fishy going on, they got quieted down real quick. And Mr. T made it a point on more than one occasions to bring up how suspicious her passing away was. That's the one who was in the airplane. So there are some creators I might be able to get in touch with that might be able to get their old videos back up about that very situation with that lady who did the birth certificate. So, hi, Kimberly, how you doing? We're 007. Takes more than 007 to handle these creepos. They I talked about that crypto billionaire last night that they said was a professional surgical job, that they put him in a suitcase after they whittled him down, I'll put it that way. And it wasn't anything but professional. So these are dangerous people. I got a tweet that, or I guess it's an X now, that somebody put up, and I guess I could say these words. I'm just going to say it because I'm not saying nothing that's getting me in trouble or breaking any rules. This Nurse Kate said in the last couple of months, the FDA and the CDC have approved one, medication induced, quote, chest feeding. Number two, lab grown meat. Number three, over the counter birth control. It's almost as if these organizations have no interest in protecting and promoting health. And the American people aren't even aware of this. In the last couple months, they approved what we discussed about men taking certain medications, hormones, chemicals that they're not meant for the purpose of the men being able to make something that looks like they're lactating. And I said that was criminal because you're not allowed to take medicines and use them for something other than their approved purpose. So I was saying that it was criminal that they were doing that, and it was criminal for whatever these so-called chest feeders to be putting something like that in an infant's mouth for them to eat. Well, see how they took care of that, made sure it wasn't criminal? The FDA approved that. That madness. So that's very early in my broadcast. I called it scientific pig Latin, legal pig Latin. Should not be something we tolerate or fall for. The legal system should be able to take care of these types of offenses, whether the CDC approves of this stuff or not. Criminal is criminal. And abusing young people, experimenting with them by having a man's so-called emissions being ingested by an infant is experimental and criminal, no matter what any agency says. And I hope, I tell you, I had one article where Newt Gingrich said Trump was going to when Trump comes in office next time, he's going to hit the ground running. Well, boy, howdy, ain't that true. It's going to be even worse than that. He's going to come, excuse me, he's going to come in swinging. I say to this day, he's got everybody lined up. The offenses we're documenting, I believe military intelligence, I believe special prosecutors and their staff. I know Huber's got access to over 470 people that can research and go through people's social media. The things that they're doing that are criminal, that they're dreaming up these political, this political jargon for them to appear to the general public that they're not breaking the law. Chest feeders, okay, men lactating, okay, medicine to gender affirm. None of those are legal terms. It's hogwash, and I believe that everybody that's involved in the government, working a job, their social media is being gone over, their emails are being gone over, there are dots being connected, and that there are going to be thousands and thousands of them being cleaned out of the federal government, state, local, and federal governments, and there are going to be a lot of people going to jail. I don't care, they can, a crime is a crime, and they can change the words all they want. But the fact of the matter is, you're promoting, allowing, or causing experimental whether it's surgeries or hormone treatments, any of that kind of stuff is a criminal act. And it doesn't matter what if they well, what did that one father call it at a school meeting? Pervert means to twist and change. They pervert the meaning of words. That doesn't make it okay. Okay. And that's what I'm hoping is the situation. That's right, Gary. Gary said FDA is a 3-letter agency. They've got to be torn down. And like Mr. T was saying about the teachers union and the education association, all that, he said they would maybe have one little desk, one little telephone. Other than that, it's all going to the states and let the parents handle it. I'm just concerned about some of these so-called surgeons that have already committing and are committing and are planning to commit the atrocity of maiming underage children, irreparably maiming them. They can't walk. They can't walk free. So, where he was bringing up the notion that we're going to pass a law for all 50 states, I'm like, well, what does that mean? That everybody's that doing this and has done this are just going to still have a medical license, still be able to touch young ones? These psychiatrists who are telling their parents, you know, you better do this to your child or your child will commit suicide. You don't talk that way around an 8-year-old. So we got that problem in the medical community, the psychiatric community, and the teaching industry. That's right, Yvonne. We need to reduce government by 80%. That's exactly what's going to happen. So I when I heard that tonight by Mr. T, I said, oh, yeah, that's great. He said, who would have ever thought you pass a bill to say that you're not allowed to mutilate children? Then I thought to myself, what does that mean about these characters that are doing it right now? I want retribution. Maybe they're thinking that these young people come of age, they can sue, I guess, or press criminal charges. Yeah, that's right, Henri, that pink-headed surgeon. So I don't know. I mean, are we going to are these people going to be allowed to be committing these atrocities and be allowed to go free? Is that part of the reason why we're told the end won't be for everybody? These delusional parents. And then CNN had Sanjay Gupta on there, and that's another thing. These people, their emails need to be gone through, their social media needs to be gone through, because this guy doing this on purpose. He the writer, the Gateway Pundit, said more CNN disinformation. Dr. Sanjay Gupta on LeBron's son's cardiac arrest. Quote, more common than people realize. They're trying to normalize this business of every time you turn on the TV, there's some 18-year-old falling on their face. And those of you who have been with me for a while know I mentioned many times about Len Bias. I think it was the late 80s or early 90s. He was an up-and-coming basketball star, and he passed away on the court from a heart attack, and it made international news. It was that unusual. Now they're telling us, oh, there's thousands of 18-year-olds corking off every day. That's right. The military, they're getting gender meds on the, well, I mean, you can't save every fallen robin, and you can't right every wrong. I understand that. But it just galls me, the fact that there are going to be doctors and psychiatrists who have contributed to one of the biggest catastrophes for the health of and well-being of young people, that they're just going to walk away, or they're going to get told, look, you can't do that anymore. Do it again, you're going to get in trouble. No, they've already committed the crime. They've already destroyed lives. So, just let it play out, I guess. But that brings me to something I was going to bring up about this Hunter Biden thing. I've talked about it in the past, and I'll talk about it more in a future broadcast, but I will point this out. Most of you in the chats already know this. People who are new, because I do have people that listen that don't agree with me. They don't put stuff in the chats. I had somebody put something in the comments about locking Trump up or something dumb like it. But anyway, at least they're listening, okay? Jeffrey Epstein was convicted, got a sweetheart plea deal in 2016. He was serving his dopey little house arrest or whatever it was. No, that was, I'm sorry. It was about 6 years before Trump came in office, or more. Somewhere between 6 and 8 years, Jeffrey Epstein did a sweetheart plea deal like Hunter Biden was trying to do the other day. Trump came into office, and Trump's Justice Department looked at Epstein's plea deal and said this was an illegal plea deal, an unlawful plea deal. He was rearrested 6 or 7 years later. Not only that, but the sweetheart plea deal he got included Ghislaine Maxwell getting off scot-free and never supposed to be charged. That was all thrown in the trash pail, and they went and arrested Ghislaine Maxwell. If Hillary Clinton had won in 2016, we'd have never heard a word about Epstein or Maxwell. And Maxwell has spoken in front of the UN, I believe, 17 times. They were getting away literally with red rum, okay? And that all got turned around when Trump came in office. They just took the plea bargain and threw it in the trash. And I guarantee you, the judge that was involved with that plea bargain, I know the attorney that was involved was fired by Trump and gave a press conference with Trump why he agreed to that plea deal. He was pressured by the intelligence agencies. And I'll try to find a clip of that. But anyway, this relates to the here and now, in that if Hunter Biden's plea deal would have gone through, all the more reason for them to make sure Trump didn't get back in office again, because he'd done the same thing with Hunter Biden's plea deal, thrown it in the trash, and had Hunter arrested, just like he did with Jeffrey Epstein. So keep that in mind, folks. I've gone over an hour. Okay, I'm just checking to see if anybody else helped me out. Gary helped me out with Buy Me Coffee. Thank you so much. I've got a link in the description if anybody wants to help a channel out. I'll be doing another live stream. Mr. T is going to do his rally tomorrow night. So we can all watch that. And Sunday, I'll be doing a live. I want to do some clips from Blast in the Past, clips about how we got to where we are. And if somebody that is just finding out about all these things or doesn't believe what we're saying, I want to try to lay the things out like, here is a lie. Here is a lie. You didn't know about this, did you? How about that? Put all that stuff up together in clips. And but one thing we got our memory refreshed on tonight. Two things we got our memory refreshed on tonight is the lady who died in that plane crash with her bright green shoes or whatever color they were, what happened to her. And two, that Jeffrey Epstein was walking down the streets of New York, whistling, getting on his jet plane. Everything was all fine and dandy. He'd broken the law and gotten a crooked plea deal. And Donald Trump grabbed him by the scruff of the neck and threw his ass right in jail, along with Ghislaine Maxwell. And that's what would happen to Hunter. So if there's anybody out there that listening that didn't know about those facts, now you know. Okay, folks, let me see what's going on. Epstein was researching autism and transhumanism. Yes, he was. I got some articles on LABSs that were found in America. BIOLABSs, okay? You guys know what I'm talking about. I'll go over that Sunday. And if Trump really knocks them dead tomorrow, I might go up late. If you're not subscribed, if you are subscribed, make sure you hit the notification bell so you'll know if I do go live. I just get a wild hair and go live. You never know. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can join us in the chats. So you all have a great night. Yes, Nikki said, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and share. So thank you all so much. You all have a great night. Thank you for spending your what? Your precious time with me. And it is precious time, isn't it? You all have a great night. This is Mountain Man, over and out.